Shalom, 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 shalom. As always, I want to give all the praises and the glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Yahweh is the Most High's name. Yahweh Shai is the name of the Son. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone, our teachers and our leaders in this spiritual warfare that we fight in these fleshly bodies. Shalom to my fellow Hebrew Israelite brothers who are preaching, who are laboring, but the Lord says, the laborers are the laborers are few, but the harvest is many. Or the harvest is many, the laborers are few. Shalom to you, brothers who are teaching 100% truth on the highways and hedges. So, I just want to do a quick thing on this Black Mirror 2023 season 6 on the last episode that they had up called Demon 79. Demon 79, all right? It's the season, it's Black Mirror's latest season. I believe it's the last season. This is the last episode of the season. This is season 6. It just came out probably about a few days ago, 3 or 4 days ago. It came out. Now let me show you predictive programming once again at its best, right? In this episode of Black Mirror, which was just released, season 6 just came out 3 or 4 days ago. The episode is called Demon 79, all right? It's the last of the 6 episodes in season 6, or the 5 episodes in season 6. So they're showing you predictive programming, right? Which we should all know what that means by now. Predictive programming, which we are seeing in this episode regarding the War of Armageddon. Regarding the War of Armageddon, we are seeing this predictive programming in full motion in this episode. So why do I say that? Okay, the newspaper that you see on the screen is one of the biggest newspapers in the United Kingdom. This is like the New York Post, or you can even say the New York Post, or the New York, what's the other one? You've got the New York Post, and there's another one. This paper is sold all over England, basically. This is a national newspaper, the Daily Mirror. Now, this particular Black Mirror episode is called Demon 79 because it's based on the year 1979. That's why it's called Demon 79. So, who you see on the screen there is a police officer reading a newspaper while he's in the lavatory, right? And as you can see on the front page of the newspaper, what does it say? It says, as clashes in the Gulf intensify, Russia, no backing down. I say again, look on the front of the newspaper, the headline. It says, as clashes in the Gulf intensify, Russia, no backing down. So we know that the War of Armageddon is going to take place in the Gulf, in the Middle East, in what the Most High has referred to as the Valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh, God's judgment, the Valley of God's judgment, or the Valley of Decision, which is the Middle East. Now, this is predictive programming at its best. These elites know that they are going to bring on World War III. And this is once again a message that they are showing to their fellow elites out there, right, on the left-hand side, that this thing is going to go down. Now, what I did, I thought, let me check if that headline on that newspaper was an actual real headline in 1979 in the Daily Mirror. So I went into the British Archives newspaper database to bring up all of the newspapers of that year. So this is what I did. Let me just show you the screen, right? I'm going to come back to this, right? This is what I did. I went here to the British Archive newspapers of 1979 for the Daily Mirror. So this is the British newspaper archive for all the newspapers in the United Kingdom, going back to when they first printed them. and I went to the year 1979 to look to see if there was any headlined paper that actually said that, just to make sure they wasn't using a headline from actual 1979, that something that happened in 1979 that we didn't know about. And I went through them from January all the way to the end, all the way. That's June. I went through all of them, all of the headline papers. That's October, all the way to the end, just to show you. That's November. That's December. All the way to December 31st, 1979, to see if I found that headline anywhere in any of the papers that came out in the Daily Mirror. Was it a headline in the Daily Mirror paper in 1979? And I couldn't find it anywhere. So that satisfied my curiosity that this wasn't a headline that they took from 1979 and they was using in this show for Black Mirror, because it was based in 1979. That's why it's called Demon 79. Couldn't find it anywhere. Which made me confirm to myself that this is another high end of predictive programming. This is a message that they're giving out to the elites on the left-hand side, that this war is coming. The war of Armageddon is coming. All right. I can't play what I'm showing you. I can only show it to you, right? Because if I play it to you, I'll get a strike. I can only show you what it shows you here. So in the show, they've got the headline, as clashes in the Gulf intensify, Russia no backing down. Now, I would implore you to watch that episode of Black Mirror, season 6 that just came out, Demon 79 it's called. And then when the show finished, this is how it finished, all right? I won't spoil and tell you what it's all about, but this is how it finished. This is how it finished. Hold on, if I can bring it up. Can you see that? Those are nuclear missiles coming through the sky, striking. What we are looking at is obviously England, right? Places in England. Those are atomic bombs that are hitting their targets. If we go back a little bit more, let's see. Can you see the missiles? These are the missiles flying through the sky. And then we see them hit their targets. And then, as it comes to the end, as you can see the people, because they didn't believe it was going to take place. I won't spoil it, but this police officer who was reading the newspaper earlier that I showed you the clip of, right? They was interviewing a woman. She was telling them about this event that was going to take place, and they thought she was a nutcase. And they left her in the interview room, and they was getting ready to call the psych ward to come and take her away, right? So when they was left the interview room, they were on their way back into the main office in the police station to get the policewoman to make that call. So the detective was going to get the policewoman to make the call to the psych ward, say, look, come and collect this woman because she's completely gone up her head. And then everything that she was saying, as they came into the main police office, they heard the sirens going off, and then they saw the missiles coming through the sky. And then, where is it? Hold on. I just see they're getting closer. Can you see the shock on their face, on all the people's faces? They're totally in shock. Let's get to the part here. Can you see the heat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. There you go. That's them witnessing the destruction. So those are nukes that were hitting places in England, basically, during the War of Armageddon. Predictive programming. These elites know this is coming. And this is why I had to look into the newspaper, see if there was any headlines referring to that headline that was in the paper. So they showed you the headline in the paper in this show saying, as clashes in the Gulf intensify, and then it said Russia not backing down, right? As we know, the War of Armageddon is going to take place in the Middle East, and the Russians are going to come up against America and its NATO allies to fight that war. Israel and Iran are going to be the nations that are going to draw them down into that Middle East, into that war, right? Into the War of Armageddon. So this was definitely a message that these elites were giving out to those on the left-hand side to say, look, we're nearly there. We're nearly at that point. We know this is coming because this is all Bible prophecy. But this was definitely a message that the elites were giving out to their people to let them know. And for those of us that are in the know, those of us that are woken up to this truth, that's why we watch these different types of shows, because we know there are subliminal messages, there are predictive programming messages that are being given out, that the elites are indicating how close they are in bringing about the War of Armageddon, and obviously the mark of the beast, the microchip, right, which will come out prior to that war, before those nukes are fired. The mark of the beast will be implemented on a global scale before we see that take place, those nuclear missiles hit. So I just had to bring that out, boy. I thought when I watched that show, Demon 79, when I watched the last episode of Black Mirror yesterday and I saw that, I thought, look at that, boy. These demons, boy, they are showing you in their predictive programming that they are there, they're ready, because they're no longer showing you stuff and waiting 10, 20, 30 years for it to happen. The stuff that they're showing you now normally happens within a couple of years. Right? This is how I've seen how they've been operating recently over the last 5-10 years. Anything they show you within 2 or 3 years, that particular thing is there. It's a thing. All right? So we're at the door, family. We're at the door. Truly, this is why I say you can't let your faith, don't let them break your faith. I'm going to bring out a few scriptures. And as we know, it's the Russians are going to be. Like I said, I checked all the archives to see if that newspaper headline actually existed in 1979. In the Daily Mirror, and it didn't exist, which means they produced that headline for that newspaper for the show, to give a message to their people on the left hand side. So as we know, I'm going to read a few precepts to just bring this more into light, what we know what's going to take place. So if we go to prophecy against Babylon, because Babylon is going to be the main place that's going to be a hit, America, right? The word that Yahweh spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. The Chaldeans are the wise men of Babylon today. They were the wise men of ancient Babylon. They are the wise men of Babylon today. They are the scientists, the philanthropists, the advisors, that sit within the government institutions, the elites, the super elites, all right? Babylon is America, as we all know. It says, declare ye amongst the nations and publish and set up a standard, publish and conceal not, say Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. Remember, it talks about the image of the beast. These Bel, Merodach, these idols, these are all part of the image of the beast, what Babylon has put upon the whole world and upon their own nation. They're going to be confounded, broken, confounded, broken. It says, for out of the north there cometh up a nation against her. Who is that? That's Russia. Coming from the north into the valley of Jehoshaphat, into the Gulf, into the Middle East. They're going to be approaching it from the north. For out of the north there cometh a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast. Because the nukes are not just going to, like I said, other countries are going to be hit by nuclear weapons, nuclear missiles, because they're going to be involved in this war. But the country that's going to be totally desolated by it is Babylon the Great, America. In those days and in that time, says the Lord Yahweh, the children of Israel shall come, and they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping. They shall go and seek Yahweh their power. As you see that taking place right now, which is going to lead up to the deliverance. And the only children of Judah and Israel is the elect. Not all of the children of Israel and the children of Judah, just the elect of the children of Israel and the children of Judah. They shall seek and ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, Come, let us join ourselves to Yahweh in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. My people have been a lost sheep. The Israelites have been a lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. The false preachers and teachers that have been out there, especially those that are in the Christian church, they have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill, from government to government, from one party to another, from Republican to Democrat, Labourite, PNP, from Labour to Conservative, left to right, thinking that's what's going to save them from what the Russians are going to bring upon them before the Lord comes. They have forgotten their resting place. Where is their resting place? Their resting place is Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. What did the Lord say? This is their resting place, right? It's Psalms 91. This is their resting place. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Where's the secret place of the Most High? The scriptures. This is your resting place. The scriptures, because that will bring you back to the Most High, to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. I will say, the Lord Yahweh, He is my refuge and my fortress, my power. In Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence, from the nuclear destruction, from the fallout of the nuclear missiles, the wind, the radiation, the pollution, the destruction. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings thou shalt trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by the day. What did we just show you in that Black Mirror? They were showing you the arrows flying by day, which are the nuclear missiles. That's the terror by night, and the arrow that flies by day is the ICBMs. Nor the pestilence that walketh in darkness, the radiation, the fallout from the nuclear missiles, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday, the fire and the wind. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. The destruction not come near thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. How are you going to see that? If you're part of the elect and you go up into the chariots to witness the destruction that you just saw, what I just showed you, that Black Mirror is showing you that the elites are preparing for this destruction. Why? Because thou hast made the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, which is my refuge, even the Most High thy habitation. So that's the secret place of the Most High. So when it says here, they have forgotten their resting place, the resting place is the Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. The scriptures, the knowledge of the scriptures. You come back into the fold, you repent, you convert, you come back to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai through your faith, your belief, through your works. Come on. All that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries said, we offend not, because they have sinned against Yahweh, the habitation of the justice, even Yahweh, the hope of their fathers. Remove out of the midst of Babylon, and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans, and be as the goats before the flocks. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations, the Russians and their allies, the North Koreans, the Iranians, the Chinese, the Libyans, the Ethiopians, Somalians, the Eritreans, the ex-Russian states, the Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, all of those ex-Soviet Union states. An assembly of great nations. Ezekiel 38 shows you the assembly of great nations. There's going to be an addition to those great nations. The Chinese are going to be a part of that. The North Koreans are going to be a part of that. And they shall set themselves in array against her, against Babylon, against America and her allies. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows, which are their missiles, shall be as of a mighty expert man, and none shall return in vain. None of these missiles are going to return in vain. And let's quickly jump down to, I want to go to Isaiah 13. I think I'm not going to spend long on this. I just wanted to bring that to the front. Babylon will fall to the Medes. America, which is Babylon the Great, shall fall to the Medes, the Russians. They're going to be the main destroyers of Russia The Russians are going to be the main destroyers of America. And in the midst of that, Yahushua and the angels are coming to deliver the elect of Israel from Babylon the Great and from around the world. And then the angels and Yahushua, the 144,000, are going to take down all of these nations in the final battle in the War of Armageddon. Revelations 19. So this is what the Russians are going to do. It says, behold, I will stir up the Medes, the Russians, against them. Against who? Against Babylon the Great, America. Because they are the main agitators of the West that are coming up against Russia. Which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. As you already see, the Americans, with their allies, their Western allies, have done everything to try to destroy the Russian economy. So when it gets to this point that the Russians turn those missiles on America, they're going to basically say, F you to your silver, F you to your gold, to your SWIFT system, to your financial system, to the banking industry. Forget it all, we're going to reset the whole thing. That's how their mind's going to be. They're not going to give a damn about gold or silver, what it's going to cost them or their adversaries. They shall not delight in it. They don't care what it's going to cost them, the Russians, when they take down Babylon the Great. Their bows also shall dash the young man to pieces, right? What's coming out of the bows is the missiles. The bows will be the silos where the ICBMs are going to be launched from. And they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb, the pregnant woman. Their eye shall not spare children. And Babylon, the glory of the nations, which is America, the beauty of the Chaldeans, excellency shall be as when the Most High Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there. There's going to be no businesses in there. The Arab man ain't going to make no money there no more. It's going to become a desolation, just like Sodom and Gomorrah. Neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. There going to be no more churches preaching white Jesus or Islam preaching Muhammad or Sikh or Hindu temples. All of these shepherds that claim to be leaders, whether it's religious or political, it's all done. It's all finished. It's end game. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there. It's going to become a place of, it's going to become a wasteland. And their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. Well, praises to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Bashim, Rakah Kodash. Let me get a quick look at that in the other Bibles a minute, because that's where it's heading. The NIV says, hyenas will inhabit her strongholds, jackals, her luxurious palaces. Her time is at hand, and her days will not be prolonged. What does the COSB mean? The Christian Standard Bible. Hyenas will howl in the fortress, and jackals in the luxurious palaces. Babylon's time is almost up. Her days are almost over. And if you can't see it, man, you are truly, truly, truly blinded. So anyway, I'm going to finish it there. I just really want to bring that to the forefront, right? I only showed you kind of, still pictures of what was in that Black Mirror season 6, episode 5, right? I would implore you to watch it, right? You can watch all of them, but Demon 79, boy, that one, I haven't watched all of them yet. I've watched them not in chronological order. I've just been watching them in different orders, all right? Demon 79 truly stood out to me last night. That was predictive programming at its best, right? That they're showing you, right? They're telling you that the Russians are not going to back down, whatever crisis are going to take place in the Middle East, and it's all going to end with the nuclear war, because that's how the show finished. But watch it. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Watch it and see, all right? So anyway, I tell you, boy, it's mad. When I saw that headline, it's absolutely... Look at that. All clashes in the Gulf as clashes in the Gulf intensify, Russia, no backing down. That's how it's going to take place. They're not going to regard the silver nor their gold, just like what we just read. All right? And he says, they shall not, the Lord is going to stir up the Medes, the Russians against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. So on that note, I pray you are edified by this quick impromptu All praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone, our teachers and our leaders in the spiritual warfare that we fight in these fleshly bodies. Shalom to my fellow who is like brothers out there that are preaching them 100% truth in the name of Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai. As I would like to say, keep praying, keep safe, repent, and hold on to this 100% truth, family. Because I'm telling you, we're all telling you. The apostles are telling you. The elders of GMS are telling you. The other brothers in GMS are telling you. We have been telling you, we're at the door. We're at the door. Anyway, shalom. 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 All praises, boy. Look at that. Beautiful. Yeah, they know.